Licensing and fire background. Inspired by the national best-selling novel Metro 2035. Deep Silver. Pretty. 4-8 games. Pretty and complex. Deep Silver presents a 4-8 games production. Directed by Andrei Kunov, I believe. I'm most certainly wrong. Inspired by Metro 23 by Dmitry Gluevsky, I think. Metro Exodus! Pretty complex. Also solo, very solo. Please do not turn off the Xbox One when you see this icon, or your current progress will be lost. That being digits. Press A to continue. Loading profile data. Dot dot. And welcome to walkthroughs, gameplay video of a game I've been really wanting to play, and a series which I've always wanted to check out but never did, and that is Metro Exodus. In the shrine, and this is a recording. As you can probably tell, you may not know this, but these aren't supposed to light up until, well, you did something. And I'm on chapter 2 now, but, well, the footage is okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the footage. It's just that I kinda maybe not turned on the audio, or just stopped somehow. I'm pretty sure I didn't turn it on. I was so excited and so tired that I kind of didn't turn on the audio. And now I place my laptop in a much better position. It's off to the side now, so I have essentially 3 screens. I have my monitor, and then from my monitor to the left, I have my laptop, and then to the left of that is my TV, and underneath the TV and right next to my laptop is the Xbox One. But yeah, some of the tray there, I can move it back. It's just a tray, it's not a table. So I can see it now. Which is good because part of the reasons why I don't like recording a laptop is because I can't see it because it needs to be closed. In order to not interfere the screen. And this works, so yeah. But anyway, so what is Metro Exodus? It is the 3rd game in the Metro game series, which was based on a post-apocalyptic book written in 2005, released in Russia. Then it released in 2010 for the United States. The first game is The first game came out. Let me check. Any of the game series. Game. But yeah, the first game came out in 2010. So actually released with the book in the United States, which is interesting. That never happens. But then again, there, it has a very interesting scenario with the book. But yeah, so the book, and therefore the game, which the game is an adaptation of the book, I believe. They are basically the year is 2033. The world has been nuked. There are monsters everywhere. And the main character lives in the metro subway systems of Moscow, which is where the entirety of the first and second game take place, as well as the first book. I don't know about the second, 2034. I actually didn't know about it until I just looked it up last night. Um, and yeah, I was always interested in Metro 2033 because it sounds like an interesting shooter concept. Which are interesting shooters. That's the problem. There's no the games are great games. It's just that they're horror and they're Russian. Um, I got nothing against the Russian people. I got something against the Russian government and Russian technology. As you know from my other shooter games, I despise the AK-47. It's so crude. It's so, ugh. It's just, ugh. Give me an M16, can take over the world. Give me an AK-47, and I'll beat the world to death with its stock. Um, but yeah, and I do like some Russian stuff, I must admit, and also to be fair, I like British stuff just as much. It's just not all. And Chinese, let's throw them in there. That's about it. Of the countries I really don't like technology of. But this Chinese aesthetic I actually kind of like. It's interesting. Um, but anyway, so those are the reasons why I didn't play Metro 2033, and it's mostly horror, which I don't do horror, unless that's very good reason for it. And Metro has very good reason for it. It is it's an awesome tactical survival shooter. Now, if you know what those words are, tactical shooter means basically an arcade shooter is a shooter in which you don't think you do, and you just have fun. A classic shooter is where you don't think and you run around jumping off stuff, and having all the weapons in the game in your pockets if you can get them all. Uh, but my idea of a classic shooter is simply having Hamanu build and being able to jump on tons of stuff. Whereas it's more arcadey than arcade games. And a tactical shooter is where you think things through. You're more mortal than an arcade game, not nearly as mortal as a simulator or hardcore games. Which sometimes you're too mortal in those games, but regardless. And you're supposed to, in a multiplayer game, work with your team. Arcade, you can do anything. It depends on the game whether it's team based or not. Tactical shooters are typically only team based, or at least squad based. Regardless. So Metro is strictly single player. You know you know that classic type of shooter which is long gone now, which is extremely rare now. Before you had your three, you had your great campaign, and then and then tactile multiplayer. You had your multiplayer only and maybe a campaign, and then you had your single player games back in before 2007. Whereas now you just have multiplayer only, uh, co-op, and no competitive multiplayer, or campaign, or campaign and multiplayer. You rarely have just single player games anymore. Which is the reason why I didn't actually pick up Metro Exodus right away, even though I was interested in it because I love the concept of this game. Which I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'll let the game tell its story in case you're going to this blind as you just want to watch your channel. You saw it in the store and want to look up an LP on your phone when you're in the store. Okay, maybe people don't do that. Okay, I would though. But anyway, regardless, I didn't get it because of how terrible the campaign of Battlefield 5 did. Um, however, I found that you all still love your single player games. It's just that when you have a choice between multiplayer and single player, you choose to watch single player later, which makes sense. You want to be engrossed in the story. That's what I do too. I should have thought that earlier. But yeah, so basically when I do a single player game, I shouldn't expect it to get views until a week later or say. So I need to put them in a different bracket, which is fine. Which is the good thing about my channel. I have so many videos, over 5,000 I think, that over 5,000 that I can just lead daily uploads. So yeah, but I'll still upload games. Also upload games like uh, like World War 3. But anyway, so we'll see how well this does. Again, I'll give it a week instead of a day, and see what you all think. And yeah, all right, here we go. My first Metro game. Unfortunately, this isn't my first running through the mission, but then again, I did watch an LP of it. I did watch JanQ's LP. And yeah. Well, anyway, let's look at options like we always do. Sounds, master, music. Master a bit. Music to match. Got spatial audio. I don't think my TV can take advantage of it, but that's cool. Aim mode. Using iron sights. Holder toggle. I prefer holder in console. Difficulty normal. Text language English. Distinguish English. However, you can also, if you want immersion, because you are taking place. This game does take place in Moscow. You probably should have Russian on. For all of you that like playing your Japanese games, or for all of you that like playing your Gundam games in English, despite the Federation actually speak English, because in universe in universe all the Federation text is in English. So either they speak Japanese and write English, or yeah, whatever. But at least to me, the Federation speaks English. They're actually a Space America from Gundam, but anyway. Alright. And by the way, you can turn off the HUD in case you want more hardcore experience. This game is pretty interesting with its controls. It's classic FPS, classic console FPS, meaning you can't change the controls. Despite it'll be really insanely difficult to do that anyway, as you can see. You got two radio menus, one for D-pad, one for face buttons. It's craziness, and then you got I don't even want to know. I guess this is south. Yeah, this is reverse. Okay, there's southpaw, and that's it. Gotcha. And then you got sensitivity. This is not the preset. That's the preset. There are preset sensitivities, which are interesting that they exist. But yeah, weird. But yeah, the sensitivity in this game is really insanely low. Like really, really, really low. I do not like it one bit. I really, really don't like it. But then again, Metro is meant to be played by people who read the novel, by people who aren't really used to FPSs. And the enemies are so few that it should be fine having a low FPS. I mean, Southpaw with the sticks, vibration. Medium. Alright. Give me strong or give me none. Or give me strong, give me medium. Oh, there's weak, okay. I don't want to take my arms off. Okay, there we go. Which by the way, vibration is important in gaming. It's as important as sound is. Because then vibration allows you to feel you're in a vehicle. Basically, it's another clue. It's like removing one HUD element or one piece of graphic from the terrain. Once it's gone, you'll miss it, kind of. And I understand if the vibration hurts your hands, that's fine, but still. so let's replay a chapter. Travel to the story of ultimate. Actually, no, let's do game it. Why not? Yeah, I need to look at difficulty anyway. Reader! This mode is designed for those players who feel... Whoops. Turn on timer. Feel they're not quite ready for the challenges presented by the world of Metro yet. And would rather just take in the story atmosphere of the journey undertaken by all too many students. At this difficulty level, the combat is simplified, while ammunition and other essentials are plentiful. Recommended for FPS novices, combat will not be too challenging. Ammunition and resources are in plentiful supply. I mean, I kind of want to do that now because of the sensitivity being so low. But normal is what I had it on, as always, because I would, you know, I set my games to normal or medium or what have you, the standard difficulty in order for you to get a grasp of the game, at its normal difficult at its medium difficulty or more standard difficulty, whatever the case may be. So you know if the game is too hard, you can put it on easy, or if the game is too easy, you can put it on hardcore. Or harder difficult, or on hard, by the way. I'll recommend for experienced FPS players. Every encounter presents a serious challenge to your skill and tactics. Ammo and resources must be jealously guarded. Success cannot be guaranteed. Ranger Hardcore makes the game. By the way, this is heroic. Ranger Hardcore makes the game more challenging by turning off the targeting reticle and generally minimizing HUD presence, limiting players' ammo reserves, increasing combat difficulty, and making the enemies more aware. In addition to that, makes the player's weapons degrade faster, at the same time making the workbenches they could be fixed upon scarcer. So, you know what Ranger Hardcore is in Halo terms? It's not only legendary, it's Battlefield's hardcore, and it's with some skulls on. Maybe all of them, who knows? I'm pretty sure it's just some, though. Do I really want to? Yes, I'm pretty sure I'll do better this time. Here we go.